What is happening, everybody? Welcome to today's video. First of all, let's just take a second, right, before we get started on the rest of the video, to talk about this weather. Oh my God. Are you not just in a better mood? And everybody is just generally in a better mood when the sun is out, like it's been for the past 3-4 days. Long may this weather continue, because I'm happier, then the person that you meet is happier, and then everybody just seems happier. You know, it's just the sun does amazing things. Comment below if you agree that this weather at the moment in the UK, magnifico. Okay, so just got back from walking the dogs, being relatively quiet morning today, but what we're going to do now, we're going to get a workout in before the madness of the afternoon begins. So on today's workout, I've already done the warm-up. So we're snatching today. So we've got one snatch at 80%, one snatch at 85%, one snatch at 90%. Now for me personally, still practicing the snatch form and technique, so there's not going to be a significant difference between any of those weights. It's pretty much probably going to be the same weight the whole way through, and just working on the technique and building things. Then part B, we got three sets of 6 to 8 reps of Romanian deadlifts, so working on the old hamstrings. And then part C is a 20-minute EMOM. Minute 1, 14 dumbbell snatches. Minute 2, 20 wall balls. Minute 3, 12 toes to bar. Minute 4, 12 hang power cleans. And then minute 5 is a rest. So quite a nice little spicy workout today. I think I say that every time. Also, just got myself in the good books, because yesterday Katie was kind of talking about how she's a bit upset because she's got no clothes to wear. Now the weather's getting nicer, and like as you get bigger pregnant, it just doesn't feel that comfortable. So I only went and smashed it out of the park yesterday and ordered a load of maternity clothes for her that have just arrived, and I've just given them to her. Technically I ordered them for Mother's Day, but they came today, and I'm really impatient, and I knew that she would want those clothes ASAP, and she's already wearing something that she bought. So win-win, Monto winner in the good books, and everyone's happy all round. So everyone is happy. The sun's out, we've got new maternity clothes, we're about to do a workout, there's a butterfly flying over there. Things are just good, things are good in the hood. Anyway, let's get on with this workout, and then we'll get on to what we're going to talk about in today's video, which is how I have managed to cope over the past 4 years. So recently we had Henry's 4th birthday a couple of weeks ago. So how I've managed to kind of get through the past 4 years after losing him, and what's helped me that might be able to help you or someone you know if they watch this video. And we're going to get on to that. First of all, we're going to get this workout done, because this, funny enough, is one of those things that's helped me over the past 4 years. Okay, workout done. Like I said at the beginning, that was spicy, especially the last 20-minute EMOM. It's just the thing I love about CrossFit is that it's just a fun way to gas out your body. And you know, I can feel it all over from that workout. My grip, like hugely. My forearms are like full of blood. You just feel it all over. That's what I like about it. And you're building strength. You're working on mobility, because you've got to do that to get into some of these movement patterns. So like the day-to-day issues we build up through bad posture and all of that, you have to work on that to be able to do a lot of these CrossFit moves. So you're working on mobility, you're working on stability, you're getting stronger, you're getting fitter, because you can hear them out of breath. So there's lots of cardio involved in these workouts as well. And it's fun and it's tough and it's challenging. And at the end of it, you feel like you've massively achieved something. And you just know, look, if I do this 3-4 times a week, I'm going to get fitter, I'm going to get stronger, my body, my physique is going to change. And you just know that that's going to happen, because you can't work as hard as you have to for these workouts and that not happen. How was everybody's day at school?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Sitting in the back, snacking?
Yeah.
Ooh, loving the snacks. What spits? Hula hoops? What did everybody do at school today?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Standard. Been at school all day. Have no idea what you've done. In other words, can't be asked to talk about it anymore. Okay, so let's get down to the topic of this video. And I've made a little list of things on my whiteboard, because I don't want to forget any of this. So how have I managed to cope? So this month was our son's 4th birthday. He would have been 4. And like it amazes me how it's been that length of time. It's like absolutely crazy. And like I did a lot of reflection around his birthday, of trying to think of like, wow, how have we gone from that day to 4 years on? How have we managed to get through that? And it's a question that people even ask me, and it's something I know a lot of people probably think is like, how do people manage to get through this? And it's like, you might be going through this at the moment. You might be where we were on that day one, which is a hard place to be, because I remember thinking in that moment, like after we'd been told that his heart had stopped beating, and we'd come home from the hospital, and I remember kind of thinking, well, how am I gonna move on from day to day? I just don't understand how I'm going to do this. I remember thinking, you know, personal training. I remember saying to Katie at the time, how can I go back to work where I do a job which is about helping people, uplifting people, making people feel better about themselves, when I don't even feel that way myself? At the moment, it feels like I'm trying to sell this false thing. And now here we are 4 years later, and his birthday's just been. And like that's where like every year around his birthday is like that kind of reflection on, wow, how's another year gone by? It seems like it was 4 minutes ago that happened, but then also at the same time it feels like 40 years ago. Like it feels not that long ago, but feels like a lifetime ago. And you start to think about, how have I come to this point where, one, I can talk about it like this, and two, you're just managing to get through the days. So I had a little think about it and kind of wrote down a couple of things, and it's, one, life just takes over. You know, you do have to get back to your normal things. You have to get back to work. You have to get back to other responsibilities. You know, your mortgage and your bills and all these things, they're not going anywhere. That's not changing. So you kind of have to fall back into a pattern of life having to kind of find its way back to normality. And I think that's one thing where the time then just seems to go by, because you don't spend every day constantly thinking about him anymore. Like I think about him at some point throughout the day, but not like at the very beginning where you're thinking about it all the time. Like you can't get it out of your head, because as the years go by, day to day, you've got other things to think about. You know, whether you've got other children to think about, or your work, or, you know, this has got to be done, that's got to be done. So time just goes by like it does. Like, you know, like as you get older, the years just go by quicker and quicker, and that is kind of what happens. And then you get to this point where you're like, oh my God, how's it been 4 years? I don't understand it. How's it been that length of time? And then it's when you step back and think, wow, we've made it to here, when at the beginning I never thought we could. And that's quite amazing in itself when you spend that time thinking about it. One of the other things I've heavily focused on, and I've kind of always done anyway, I think I learned from losing my father at a young age that for me, it's very important that I have to look after myself. That's how I got into exercise. That's how I do a lot of reading, like mindset stuff, self-help stuff, and exercising regularly. I have to look after myself. Because ultimately, if you don't feel good about yourself, in your own skin, mentally, anything like that, then it's very hard to cope with something like that. When hard things come along, if you haven't got that stable foundation of you being like in a solid place with yourself, then you're going to struggle big time when it comes to those things. And that's kind of why I don't really drink anymore. I might have 1 or 2 drinks, but I'll never get drunk. Because I just found, and I learned after losing my dad, that when I was younger and I used to drink a lot, I used to go out to get drunk and all that kind of stuff, it just wasn't a good combination when you have that past. It just doesn't mix well together. And that's the one thing I learned after losing Henry, was I'm not going to turn to drink and stuff, because it's just not a good combination. Going down that avenue never ends well when you combine those two things together. So I don't really drink, because then I'm constantly in control. The problem with alcohol is you kind of then, all these emotions and everything come to the surface maybe, and you're not thinking correctly, and like you're not in control. So it's like looking after myself and very much staying in control. And I find that massively helps. Like, I think that's potentially one of the reasons why I don't really drink. And I don't really drink to get drunk. Like I said, I might have 1 or 2 drinks on holiday, on a nice sunny day, all that kind of stuff. I do still like the taste of drink, but I just find looking after yourself should be a huge priority anyway. But it makes going through something like this a lot better when you look after yourself mentally. All the exercise and everything, the endorphins it releases, getting out each day, walking, the dogs have like massively helped with that. Having to go out and walk the dogs every day is like, it's unbelievable how much mentally that stuff helps you. And when I go out and walk the dogs, I listen to podcasts about, stuff about mental side of things, improving your health, improving your mental health, all that stuff. And focusing on and working on that stuff has massively helped me over these past 4 years, and even longer than that. Like I said, going back to the whole reason I potentially got into fitness in the first place, because of losing my dad at a young age. Another thing that I find massively important is how you can get through these years and moving forwards. Is you need to set some sort of goals, okay, in life. You need to have some kind of purpose. And I think if you don't have that, it's very easy to fall into a depressive state because of what you've been through. Because you've got too much time to think about things, overthink things, be stuck kind of in that past. And you don't have this vision of the future to look forward to. Set goals to work towards, whether that's work-related stuff, whether that's personal health stuff, like I said. Because that gives you that vision of, I've got to get up in the morning because I want to work towards this thing, I want to do this thing, and have those goals. And they just help you get through that time, because you're focusing on something that says to yourself, there is a future here for me, because I want to achieve these things in the future. I'm working towards these things. So setting those goals, finding that purpose is massively important for helping you get through something like this. And that's hugely what I've found. Running my own business, building that business has massively helped me over those years of something positive to work towards constantly in the future. that gives you that drive all the time. So the fourth one is, I think, which is good for people that have been through something like what we've been through, is starting something or doing something that gives back to that experience. Something that's going to positively impact people that have been through what you've been through and experience what you have experienced or still experiencing. Whether that's setting up a charity, whether that's doing work for charity, whether that's just raising awareness, whether that's, providing emotional support for people, reaching out to people, saying to people, I've been through what you've been through and I'm happy to chat about it. Giving back in some way. One, if you're helping people that have been through what you've been through, you're doing a good thing, because you needed those kind of people when you were going through your hard time, so you're giving back. One, you're helping those people. Two, you're helping yourself, because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, although we've lost our son and been through this, I'm now in a position where I'm happy to try and support and help people who are going through it. So although a very bad thing has happened, I've potentially created something positive and meaning to give back. Okay, and I think that is very powerful when you've been through what you've been through. And me and Katie have been working on something recently in the background, which I'm not going to announce yet in this video, because I want to wait. We're going to do a completely separate video announcing what that thing is. But it's going to be very fully focused around giving back to that kind of stillbirth community and helping people who have going through what we went through and giving them that support. But I don't want to give away what it is just yet, because we're still finalising a lot of things, and I want to do a separate video on that. But one, that's going to help us, me and her, in the future feel a bit better about what we've been through. It's going to help us look back on his 10th birthday and be like, wow, how have we got here? I know we went through all of that, but look at the things we've managed to do as a result of it. Look at the potential positive impact we've managed to have as a result of the bad thing that we went through. And I think those things are important. This is how you go, wow, how have we got here? I don't really understand. It seems like yesterday, and now we're here. So there's like 4 of the biggest things that have helped me through the past 4 years, and that I think, if you're watching this, someone that's gone through something similar or going through something, or you're going through it yourself, then hopefully that will help you as well, give you a bit more clarity and make you believe that, it's day one. How is there a future for me? How am I going to get through this? Well, that's how. And I'm now here as evidence saying we've managed to make it 4 years down the line. Still miss him every day. The one thing I will say is it doesn't get any easier. People say it gets easier. I don't think it gets any easier. I think it gets harder. I think because when 4 years go by, you're like, wow, it's been 4 years since we saw him. When 10 years goes by, and there's all these milestones you're going to live through, but you cope with it better because life goes by. As you get older, the years go quicker. And like I said, you take either of those routes. You take the route where you focus on those positive things, you set those goals, you work on things, you work on yourself, and the years go by. Or you take the other route where you don't, and you punish yourself forever and just go into a darker and deeper hole with it. And it's completely in your hands. But either way, it's never easier. Things don't get easier as the years go on. You just cope with it and you just live with it. Like I said, as the years go on, your life, the rest of your life takes over, so you can't necessarily think about it all day, every day. That's maybe why it becomes a bit easier. But the actual fact, as the years go by, in some respects, that side of it becomes a little bit harder. Each birthday in some ways will become harder because it's further away. Anyway guys, thanks for tuning in to today's video. Leave a comment below if you found that useful. Anyone you know might find it useful. If you feel like there's anything else that could have been added to that, anything that's helped you, anything that's helped someone you know, then comment below. I'd love to hear it. Other than that, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next one. And remember that no matter what you have been through in life, you are still strong.